got the dog. So all metal's inside of there. Also got metal in the probably in the oil center there. So you know what, I don't care. It's over it. So these studs here, I'm not using them. I'm going to put bolts in because I don't want to have to deal with that again. I'm just going to give this face a quick polish up, make sure it's nice and smooth. I've also got a gasket for that now. From factory, they don't come with a gasket fitted. They're just a machined interference face, but if you're doing this job, definitely put a gasket on. They do, so I've got the Phi gasket kit, but comes with everything you need basically, and just syringe to put oil in. But this turbo that I bought also came with a heap of stuff as well. So yeah, and oil already in the syringe ready to roll. But prep those faces up. Well, I'm going to take the dogs for a walk now, and then I'm going to prep them faces up. But yeah, see you shortly. I'm going to need 2 hands for this, but I'll try and this GoPro somewhere where you can sort of see what the dealio is, because I've got it on obviously a wobbly wheel. Because my extension's like a flexi one, pretty much got to hold it with my hand. Oops, where'd that go? Also, should have really covered up my intake hoses. I didn't. I did do my oil drain. So yeah, now I'm gonna have to make sure I've got nothing left inside of my intake hosing. I'm basically just gonna lift the turbo up into place to begin with, get everything sort of sat there, and then I'll start. It'll be sat in there lightly with the gasket and all that on, and then I'll line up the main turbo bracket at the bottom. And it's just a matter of putting everything back together now, which should also be quite hard. Alright guys, so I got my bolts, put the stud in and Loctite it into place. That's the gasket I was telling you about, which technically Land Rover from factory don't have a gasket there, but yeah, different brand of turbo, and honestly it's like a $3 part and you'll never have to worry about it. So I think personally, if you ever do this, always put a gasket on. My bolts had to be thick enough to fit through both flanges, so now they do, which is good. I just had to go searching for them. I've prepped up my hosing, obviously the mounting face ready to roll, and I've got the new gasket sitting on the oil pickup. I've just put a dollop of super glue on the corner just to keep it in place. And now the fun part. So I've just done my catch can hosing back up again. Obviously the boost hoses, I've just got to do these mounting bolts up. I've done the turbo drain, turbo feed. I need to do the drain from below, and I've plugged in the actuator. So I've just done all this stuff while everything's sort of still semi out the way. This should be easier to get to now that I don't need to worry about getting the bolt from the other side, just holding it in place. So I shouldn't take as long doing these bolts up as last time, or I hope not anyway. And then I'll focus on the turbo, or I might put the turbo return line on now, oil drain. Alright, turbo drain's on, feed's on, primed it with oil. Only thing I haven't put on now is the exhaust downpipe. Before I do that, I think I'm going to turn the key and make sure everything sounds alright. I'm not going to run this car for long, but it is important to make sure that you actually open the garage door so you don't gas yourself out. They sound so good with no exhaust. Alright, exhaust bracket, turbo support bracket, and then it's time to start fitting all this crap up. But guys are going to call it a night. Dam pipe's on. All the other heat shielding's on, apart from obviously inside of here. I just got the rest of the exhaust to fit, the cross member for the transfer case, front drive shaft, and these heat shields, and upper control arm, and the wheel. Then we're good to go. So to give you guys an idea of where we're at, we're currently at about 10.5 hours. So it's not too bad. It took me just under 8 hours to get the turbo off. And this side is actually really quick, like it's coming together really fast. And I think that's mostly because obviously it's bolts in the top mounting for the turbo now rather than studs, so you don't have to mess around too much with that. And the hardest part about getting the turbo on was actually getting these hoses on. Just sort of fighting it the whole way. Everything else is sort of not too bad. It's fiddly, but not too bad. But see you tomorrow.